Hello, everyone. Oh. Seems whilst I was preparing, my Switch turned off. Alright, welcome in, everyone, to our channel. I want to thank everybody who has come on. I am Retro, of Retro and Wolf, doing my daily Xenoblade stream, which I'm very excited about, having a lot of fun with. Hey, Red 5! Today, we use our power to fell a god! So very, very exciting. I love that you're coming in with all the these quotes from the game in English. And for those of you who don't know, I am playing this game with the Japanese language and the English subtitles because while some of the sayings in the game in English are kind of amusing and good, the game to me just sounds better in Japanese. So we're gonna go with Japanese. I don't know why, but that's, you know, it works for me. I also watch most of my anime in Japanese rather than English, but that's me. That doesn't make me better than you or anything. That's not the reason I'm better than you. No, I'm kidding. I want to thank everybody who is here watching, and if you are, feel free to comment. Yeah, that is allowed. That's a line from a Xeno game, but you won't say which one. Of course you won't. And I haven't played enough of them, or know enough of the lore to determine, yep, that's what that is. We just summoned a very angry bird. Hey, Cam and Focus coming in. How's it going, brother? Also, guys, you see that profile name right there, GNN_Cam and Focus? He is starting his own Twitch channel, so be sure to head on over to twitch.tv/Cam and Focus. Follow him. He's one of my best friends, and he's putting out some amazing content. Also, if you want to see some of his past content, go to YouTube, go to the Geek News Now, GNN channel, and look at the Cam and Focus channel on there. He has some hilarious reviews of movies, very honest reviews of movies, and probably my favorite is the way he absolutely demolishes and tears apart. Oh, I just lost the name because I'm in the middle of doing this. He's gonna hate me. Cam, which one was it that had the legendary, the one that you had to get permission to post? Oh, I just lost the name. It's my favorite one too, and it's just like it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Tip of my tongue. Help me out, Cam. I don't know if he's still there. Artemis Fowl. Yes, yes. His very honest review of the Artemis Fowl movie. It's hilarious. Go check it out. It's amazing. And now he's starting on Twitch, which is awesome. So, very excited to definitely throw a shout out to him there. When do you know when you're going to be doing your first live stream? Do you know when that's going to be or where? Well, I know where, but I mean when. Happy to do it, brother. And I do want to take a second to let everybody know I am expecting a phone call sometime today. Could happen during the stream. If so, I'm going to go to a break, but I will be back. So if I go to a be right back, I got to answer a phone call, but then I will come back right back on the stream as soon as I'm done. But yeah, Cam, do you know when you're going to be going live? I like how we have to climb like the long way up this thing. Ah, come on. That's true. Can't fly. Can't fly. Such a shame, too. Although, personally, I don't think I would want... Like, if I could choose, like, my mutant ability, I wouldn't want to fly. That wouldn't be my choice. I would want to teleport, actually. I think there's too many variables and too many things that can go wrong with flying. I prefer... But I like the idea that they gave for Nightcrawler in the X-Men with his teleportation, is that he didn't, like, phase and then phase out or transfer his molecules from one spot to another. He literally went through a portal into another, like, dimension and then came out in a different spot. So he didn't, like, dematerialize. He literally just went through a portal. He was able to create a transportation portal that allowed him to just kind of move around the environment without... But the other thing, too, is that it allowed him to move when he went through that alternate dimension, which I think they determined was basically a hell dimension, but he went through an alternate dimension. That's why there was, like, the sulfur puff of smoke. He went through the alternate dimension, and then he would come out. But he would go through it super fast. So, like, I think it was in the X-Men Evolution series, the show, where they really kind of played with the concept of his teleportation. And Professor Xavier gave him a device to figure out, like, exactly where he went. And so it slowed down his teleportation. So he was actually, like, went into this other dimension and then through the portal and then came back out the other dimension. But because he went through it so slowly, as opposed to how quick he normally just, bamfs in and out, a demon from that hell dimension basically was able to follow him through his portal and, of course, cause a whole mess of problems for the X-Men. But I think, to me, it's a really, really interesting concept. And I think, because then you have guys like Wraith, where Wraith could teleport, but Wraith basically dematerialized from flesh to muscle to skeleton to gone to rematerialize somewhere else. So the teleportation methods were different. All right.
ここはなんだか薄気味悪い。どうしたシルク？あ、なんだか。おいおい、生きて動く。なあ、早く行こうぜ。
All right. Yay, let's keep going. We're in the third lung. Apparently they have at least 3. Which, if the Bionis is dead, then, like, what's created oxygen? Thanks this last week, you have enough points to redeem picking a game. We'll have to think about that one. So, I'm going to put a caveat on that. Alright, so here's the caveat. If it is original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, or Game Boy, you have your pick. Go for it. Go nuts. Whatever you want. Because I'll emulate what I don't have. If it's PS2 or any other console, if it's any other console than like the core, I'm gonna call them the core 4. You're gonna have to like message me and see if I have it, or be willing to send it to me if I don't. The other thing too is that if it's something that's going to be multiple episodes, I'm going to need to like find when I can work that in, because I don't want to stop playing Xenoblade to do that. But yeah, no, go for it. Like if you want me to do like a one-off, you know, if you want to do a one-off, then certainly let me know and I can work that into like one of the evening streams or something coming up. Or even take one of my day streams for Xenoblade and not. As RPGs go, how would you rank this against any of my favorites? Fourth. I would rank it fourth. You think something like Untitled Goose Game or Baba Is You as a one-off. Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna redeem, like, think about what you want before you redeem the points, and then but I will say if it's a console, let me know. Like I said, if it's any of the original, I'm gonna call the core 4, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, or anything Game Boy, and that includes Game Boy Color up through DS, I can emulate. Anything beyond that, you'll have to check with me to see if I can emulate it or if I've got it or like what I can do with it. But yeah, Cam, as far as RPGs go, game RPGs, this ranks for me 4th in my list. Important cutscene here, so I'm not gonna. We'll let this play. Ah, we're beginning to piece together the Mechonis. Literally and figuratively. Robot in disguise.
躯体はこれで完成した。あとは魂の転送さえ成功すれば あの損傷はフェイスの走行を妖怪できる存在などまさか。
バネヤ様、エギル様がお呼びです。
わかりました。このフェイスの調整が終わり次第伺うと伝えてください。
So having not played the other Xenoblade Chronicle games, if I'm just going off of this game alone, first for me would be Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo. All-time favorite, number 1. Number 2 for me,
この世界全体に新しい時代をもたらしてくれるはず。
and again, I'm excluding Pokemon because Pokemon is an RPG, but I'm excluding Pokemon from this. It's going to be Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo, followed by Lost Odyssey, which was made with all the same developers as Final Fantasy X, as well as the same music composer. Then I would put it Blue Dragon, I think, which again, same team that did Lost Odyssey and Final Fantasy X, and then I would put Xenoblade. So yeah, I would be comfortable putting this in 4th. 3rd for me, it can go a couple different ways because Blue Dragon is a great game if you've never played it. It's fun, it's good. But Blue Dragon and Final Fantasy 1 on the original Final Fantasy on the NES, those are really tied for that 3rd spot for me. Kind of depends on my mood, how retro I want to go. But if I'm doing, but this is a comfortable 4th. You might put it behind Xenogears as well.
メリア様、ここは我らに任せ、早くのポン族の村にお戻りください。
何を言うアイゼル、お前たちを残して私一人だけ逃げ帰れというのか。
メリア様は我らの希望ならばこの命トスことこそが誉れ、何の恐れも後悔はありません。さあ
ならん、私とてあやつを倒さずしてコートには戻れぬ。
You love Final Fantasy II with Cecil and Kain. There's something so charming about. There is. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I figured out like why those retro RPGs are so. Why the retro RPGs are so nostalgic. Is because we had to use our imagination to fill in the blanks. You didn't have cutscenes like this. Your monsters were, you know, they were pixel art creations that looked cool, but you still, your brain, and you did this automatically, it was an autonomic reflex, your brain automatically filled in the blanks of what you thought that was like, and those battles seemed massive and intense, and they did such a great job showing scale by showing scale of the pixel characters. They had to work harder on those games than I think you do here. I mean, it's a different level of hard. You know, you still have the level design, you have the artistry, you know, where this is creating a story and voice acting and all that. And those older RPG games, they didn't have those extra elements to fill in. So you had to have compelling story as your drive. That's why games like Chrono Trigger and games like Final Fantasy, those old Super Nintendo RPGs, are so popular, is because they were driven off of story and then what our imagination filled in the blanks. Because if, like, when I look back, I remember feeling like some of those boss battles were bigger and more oomph than you know, they are compared to this. So I think for me that's what that is. We had to use our imaginations more, so we have a deeper emotional connection. So he just relived that flashback scene. That's why I was talking through it.
ノポン族だろう。
そいつら巨神の頭。それはわからんが、何の当てまずは。
That's Amelia, voiced by Jenna Coleman in the English dub. I'm not familiar with Jenna. What would I know Jenna Coleman from? Like, the name sounds familiar, but I can't, like, offhand, I'm not placing Jenna Coleman. Doctor Who. Hold up. Because I recognize her from something else. That's where I recognize her from. Okay. She was a bit part in Captain America, the first Avenger. Yeah. She was one of the two girls that Bucky and Steve were going to take on a date to the World's Fair. When Steve decided to try his hand at enlisting again. She was one of the two girls. I recognize her face. But yeah, looking at her too, I recognize her from Doctor Who as well, and a few other projects that she's done, Sandman and a few other things that she's in. Part of me wonders what would happen if I jumped down there. I mean, it's obviously an accessible area, but I'm not going to do that right now. There's the easy fast travel. Yeah, that's true. Which, I missed a merchant back there. So yeah, let's, why not? Oop, alley-oop. Whee! Watch me hit the rock. Water, water, water! Yay! It would have been my luck I hit the rock, too. So pretty. It actually is very aesthetically pleasing. We're just gonna... I feel like this could be a Bob Ross documentary scene right here. Like, yep, just look at those pretty little waterfalls there. They just belong right there, and it's that happy place that you can go to. But then it can very quickly become Crocodile Hunter. All right, now up here there's this giant sea snippet. I'm gonna go pull its tail. Danger, danger, danger. And suddenly Mr. Rogers comes in out of nowhere. Well, friends, the sea serpent has his place in nature too, and we'd like him to be our neighbor as well. Oh, Pretty crystals. Well, the game as a tight story is designed to let you explore far off the path. Yeah, I mean, I have learned that this game does reward exploration, sometimes with a boss. Hey, Tyler. Plus, you get experience when you get things. Won't you be my neighbor? You know, that was an extremely underrated. No, it's. I think underrated is not the word. It's a forgotten show. It is. Whoa! Apparently, there's a path. There's a rock path up here. Oh, because I'm gonna come here later. I do remember that. However, I'm gonna go over here and explore this island. I think we could all use a little Mr. Rogers in our life right now. Personally speaking, I think we could all use a little Mr. Rogers. He was one of the first to tackle racism on his show. Because I'm trying to remember, I believe the mailman was black. And Mr. Rogers was sitting in his backyard and cooling his feet in the kiddie pool. And he asked the mailman, or the policeman, that's right, he was the policeman. He asked the policeman to sit with him and cool his feet. And so they did. And so both of them sitting there, socks and shoes off, with their feet in the same kiddie pool. And that's huge. That was, for its time, you're talking height of the civil rights movement. You know, you're talking about, it'll post-civil rights movement, but height of changes trying to be made after that. Big deal. Especially somebody, frankly, of his generation. I can't get any closer. I'm very slowly moving closer, but I don't think I'm really supposed to like swim up to the falls. I am gonna go over here and check this out. You saw a fan comic with him and Thor. Yes, I've seen that. Where Sir Rogers of the Hood, yeah, where Mr. Rogers could pick up Thor's hammer and Thor is quite perplexed by it. But I mean, come on, is there anybody more worthy than Mr. Rogers to pick up Mjolnir? I can shout your roommate. Who's your roommate? Hi, roommate! Hey, medic's roommate. Sam and the Clogged Toilet. I feel like that should be the name of a children's book. Hi, Sam! On your left. Sorry. Because his name was Sam and Steve. Yeah. Captain America reference. Anyway. Don't be. Believe me, there's far more embarrassing things in this world. There's thing I've learned, because I used to be somebody that was easily embarrassed. I used to be somebody that was easy to like. I used to be, believe it or not, I used to be really easy to offend, and I used to be really easily embarrassed, and I used to believe and was convinced for a long time I was stupid. Once I got past several of those things, and I became kind of, I don't want to say cultured, it's the wrong word, but I became exposed to a lot more. me being easily offended went away pretty easily. Because I realized that it just wasn't worth it. As far as being embarrassed, you know, I spent my time around people. If you ever want to get over being easily embarrassed, it's not a crime, and I am criticizing no one. If you are somebody who's easily embarrassed, I criticize you not. This is meant as a helpful suggestion. If you are easily embarrassed, spend your time around people who do things more embarrassing than you do, and you'll realize it's all perspective. But I can say that, and intellectually your brain goes, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But until you're around people that actually do things more embarrassing than what you would do, and you accept them for that, then you stop being embarrassed by little things. Like, I used to be terrified to sing in public. Took me a long time to get past that. I used to get horrific stage fright. This didn't happen. Holy frog! It's like Land of the Bosses. Say the same thing when dungeon mastering. Don't feel embarrassed that this is nerdy. It's the big... That's true. You know, there are things, you know... I don't think there's anything really I could do anymore that would embarrass me. I think I'm pretty well past things that would embarrass me. I've done some pretty crazy stuff. You know, almost getting arrested. Well, technically arrested, but not processed, or technically I was technically arrested, but not processed or charged. I was let go. They didn't pursue me further. I was taken out of handcuffs. You know, that was a fairly embarrassing moment for me in my life. So I wonder, am I just gonna go off the edge of the world? You've been in handcuffs a lot in my life. So have I. And I think both of us for very different reasons. Maybe some of the same. I was an escape artist, in context for people wondering. Secret area. Seahorse Islet. Islet. Secret area. There's nothing here. Yes, I was an escape artist, for a number of years. No! We're going off the edge of the world! Whee! Well, on the plus side, it'll automatically spawn me back at the last, fast travel point. Nope, just put me back on the islet. That's okay, I can fast travel back up there. It's just funny because there's things in the water, but in order to get them, you have to be in the area where the current is that strong that it's going to just suck you over the edge. So, yeah, you do have to make that sacrifice play at least once. Alright, enough fooling around. Let's go back up to here. There we go. Phrasing! I didn't even think about it. Lana. Lana! Lana! Danger zone! I have not sat and watched Archer in I don't know how long. Yeah, I know I'm a few seasons behind. Last season I saw was the flashback film noir season they did. Which they did that as a tribute season to the guy who voiced his butler originally because he passed away. That's why Woodhouse has a different voice at the end of, I think, season 3. Right before they do that, the character, the actor who voiced him passed away. I think from cancer. I think it was. And so they did that flashback season, like film noir season, as a tribute to him. All right, I need to see like where my equipment's at because I haven't looked at it in a while. Equipment. Okay. That's still the best. Yep. You get to play Sunday, getting things printed and ordering paints. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm thinking about running a game Sunday as well. I've been doing the Princes of the Apocalypse campaign with mine, with some homebrew elements thrown in. But honestly, I'm not a huge fan of some of the direction it's going. So I don't know if I'm going to keep going with it. I like it, but it's just, I don't know. I don't feel like it's the right groove for my players. But it's hard to say, you know. You know, sometimes you get weeks into a campaign and you go, this isn't, I don't know if this is really the right groove. I think that's one of the hardest calls to make as a DM is knowing when you have to shift what your players do, to be in their best interest. So I've always felt like the best, like all you need to be a dungeon master, all you really need to be a dungeon master is you just need a good story to tell. You prepped for an Indiana Jones style adventure and the gang from Always Sunny showed up to play. It's I don't know. I felt like all you need is to be a good storyteller. It's always been my belief. That's always been my view on it. And it gets to a point where you don't feel like you're effectively doing that anymore, then you need to look at what you are doing and why. And so I think I'm just kind of at that point a little bit of, you know, is this the best campaign for my players? And also I think it's going to be important. I mean, I'm going to need to get their feedback too. Of what they think, you know, how do they feel the campaign is going? What are their thoughts on where we're at so far? Even the bad sessions, you get a little better. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, too, is that you have to realize that a bad session is still learning from failure. You know, you can... I've often said, and I've heard it said when it comes to business, you know, people want to talk about, oh, study the success... You know, when you want to study the successful businesses, you know, that's what people say. Study the successful businesses. Well, study the failures, too. Study the ones that don't get off the ground. Why did they fail? Why didn't they last their first year? You know, those are the questions that you've got to ask. Why didn't they make it the first year? You know, why did they eventually just not make it at all? Like, studying failure can be just as rewarding, if not more so, than studying success. One of my favorite hobbies, oddly enough I call it a hobby, but it is, I love to study war. I study combat. I study nations. And it's like, if you want to learn the history of a nation, study, like, if you want to understand their politics, if you want to understand their leaders, study how they went to war. It'll tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you where their financial priorities were. It'll tell you where their monetary... Well, I guess it's financial. But study where, you know, their successes on the battlefield, where their failures on the battlefield. What they did as a leader. You know, but when you study failure as much as you study success, you will learn far more. Getting up... And I've always felt this. You can get back up on the horse and you can try again and all that crap and those platitudes. You can do that all day long. But if you don't study why you fell off the horse, then it's going to do you no good. You've learned more from your failures than anything you've succeeded at. Yeah. The other thing, too, I've learned is success is sometimes a fluke. Sometimes success is a fluke. So you can't base what you're doing solely off of somebody's success. It legitimately could have been a fluke that has succeeded. And you'll never know if if the reason it worked for you is the same reason it worked for everyone else. Because success, the other thing too, and I think it was Benjamin, I mean, actually I learned this quote from National Treasure, but I looked it up and it is in fact a real quote. Benjamin Franklin said that, or Thomas Edison said that it took him 400 tries to make a light bulb. He didn't fail 400 times, he learned 400 ways not to make a light bulb. Success is often a fluke, or rather luck is a significant part of success in a number of situations. So luck, I think luck is really defined as when opportunity meets preparation. When you're ready for the eventual time that the successful opportunity comes up, and then you're ready to succeed at said thing. I like how that is a more higher gear top than. Certainly intimidate him on the battlefield, though. Alright. Everybody's just sitting here watching me buy gear. Yeah. Iron boots and iron boots plus he got the better weapon. No, that really is the better weapon for him. All right. Oh, and he got the tribal bottoms as well. There we go. All right, we'll sell off the last of what we got, and then we'll move forward in the game. Yeah, we're gonna sell that. There we go, and do those and those. All right, cool. All right, that's as prepared as I can get them at the moment. Hey, Wolf. That's okay. I'm happy you're here, lurking. Hope your work day is going well. There's apparently some things down here that I can. Oh, it's taking out some more of those four-winged owl thingies. There's a bunch of monsters down here that need my attention. Now, if you would all just line up in a single file line, you know what? I can survive it. Hey, Birdo. If only our video game characters burned our calories when we make them run around and stuff, right? Tell me about it. I'm going to the gym every day. Yay, there's one. Haha! I hack at you with my light sword. Come on, come on, come on. Wake up, wake up, wake up. There we go. Thank you. Come on, get up. There we go. I do appreciate that when equipped with the same armor, it is just as equally scantily clad for the men as it is the women. I think that is appropriate and hilarious. I like how I have to kill 5 of them in this area, and it deliberately only gives you 4. Okay. Well, we'll move along. If I come across another one, I come across another one. I'm sure I will. Yep. Hey, and just like that, fast travel, another one appears. Might as well go take care of it. And then I'm actually probably going to be finishing my stream, because I do have more things I do have to get done today. I do appreciate everybody coming on, hanging out, saying hi. Love you all. I will not be streaming tomorrow, possibly streaming Sunday night. Don't know yet what I'm going to be doing, what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be spending tomorrow with my kids primarily, so that'll be how that time is being spent. But we'll post on social media, Facebook, and in our Discord what our schedule will be. I will be doing more Xenoblade. I'll be back on Monday with more Xenoblade. And as we kind of figure out and plan next week's schedule for what we're going to do. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this quest. And then I'm going to finish out here. I just need one of you jerks to come here. I'm probably going to end up having to fight all of you, but, you know, whatever. Really, I just have to wait for her to shoot it, and then it comes closer. Yay! Quest completed. And of course we alerted the attention of your friends, naturally. Yay!
気を引き締めていこうぜ。
All right, we'll warp back up here. Hooray! All right. Okay, everyone. I'm going to finish my stream here this evening, or this evening, today, and I will see you guys when I see you next. Thank you to everybody who came in and hung out. Yeah, gonna be a good time when we come back. Be sure to check out our Discord and our other social media channels to see when we're going live. But I will see you all when I see you.